from the mobilized nervous system to the weaponized bliss. You're driving. Someone cuts you off. Nothing happened. No accident. Nobody hurt. There are already 3 cars ahead. It was a driving error, a 2-second event. It's over. Your jaw is clenched. Your hands are tight on the wheel. Your body is fully prepared for a confrontation with someone who is already gone. The confrontation cannot happen. The target has disappeared. The preparation has nowhere to go. This is where you find yourself for the next 15 minutes of your commute. Something goes wrong. An injustice. A humiliation. A betrayal. A driver. A sentence from someone who should know better. And the anger arrives. Not as a feeling, exactly, as a change in state. The blood pressure, the flush of heat, the jaw, the sudden narrowing of perception to a single point, the source of the wrong. The thought that arrives already fully formed, already weaponized, already knowing exactly what it wants to say and exactly how much damage the saying would do. The thought is ready. The body is ready. Something primal and competent has assembled itself for conflict in the quarter second before you had a conscious thought about any of it. Notice the intelligence of this. Notice how organized it is. Anger is a mobilization response. It evolved to solve a specific problem, the presence of a threat that can be challenged rather than fled. Fight rather than flight. The distinction that the nervous system makes in the amygdala in milliseconds, before the cortex has any input, is, can this threat be overcome by confrontation? If yes, the sympathetic nervous system fires the anger cascade, cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine, blood to the large muscles, constriction of peripheral circulation, heightened threat focus, suppression of the systems not needed for immediate combat, digestion, immune function, complex reasoning. The angry person is not irrational. They are operating a perfectly rational system, deployed against what the nervous system has identified as a threat requiring confrontation. The system is competent. The system is ancient. The system is, in its evolutionary context, exactly correct. The problem is the context. The threat your nervous system identifies as requiring confrontation in the meeting room is not a predator. The humiliation delivered by a sentence is not a physical danger. The driver who cut you off, gone, irretrievable, already 3 exits behind you, has triggered a mobilization response that has nowhere to discharge. The body assembled itself for a confrontation that cannot occur, or cannot occur in the form the body is prepared for. The energy has nowhere to go. You assembled a full military response for someone who has already exited the highway. The army is standing at attention. The enemy is 3 miles gone. This is the specific quality of modern rage, the preparation with no discharge, the mobilization running its full biochemical program against a target that is either unreachable or socially off-limits or already gone. The cortisol stays in the system, the jaw stays tight. The rumination begins, replaying the offense, drafting the response, imaging the confrontation that didn't happen or that did happen and went wrong. The body keeps running the anger as if the predator were still present, because the anger was designed for a predator, and the predator's absence is not registered by the system that launched the anger. Buddhist psychology describes 2 arrows. The first arrow, the event that caused pain. The second arrow, the suffering added to the pain by the mind's response to it. Anger fires both. The first arrow, the injustice, the humiliation, the betrayal, real, present, legitimately painful. The second arrow, the hours of rumination, the fantasized confrontations, the rehearsal of grievances, the catastrophizing, the reconstruction of the event with worse and worse interpretations. The second arrow is self-administered, and it lands more times and in more vital places than the first. The injustice lasted 4 seconds. You have been replaying it for 40 minutes. The person who wronged you has forgotten it happened. And the third layer, the anger about the anger. The self-judgment for having fired. The sense that the anger makes you the kind of person who gets angry, which is itself a threat, which triggers another evaluation, which produces more cortisol. The mobilization response, mobilizing against itself. The rage is real. The target is gone. The chemistry does not know the difference. Kallata and the Spanda karikas. In the extreme states, intense joy, rage, despair, wonder, the Spanda becomes accessible. The vibration is naked in those moments. This is not a rationalization of anger. It is a precise observation about what anger actually contains. Anger is Spanda at high voltage. The divine pulse, the same vibration that blinks galaxies into existence, that beats in the heart, that pulses in every cell, running at maximum amplitude through the nervous system. The heat is real. The energy is real. The mobilization is real. These are not the problem. These are the raw material. The Spanda karikas do not say, the anger is already bliss, and you just don't know it. They say, in moments of extreme intensity, the background vibration that is usually masked by ordinary experience becomes briefly available, loud enough to be noticed. The anger as intense state is a moment of access, not to the anger itself, but to what the anger is made of. Feel the rage stripped of its narrative, not the story of who wronged you and what they deserve, not the draft of what you should have said, just the raw energy of the thing, the heat, the aliveness, the extraordinary competence of a nervous system firing at full power, the specificity of it, the fact that you care enough about something to have your body mobilized for its defense. Under the anger, a value that was violated. Something that matters enough to you that it's being trampled triggered the ancient machinery. The anger is, in its structure, a form of love. Love for what was violated. Love in the mode of defense. The awareness that knows the anger is not angry. But it is also not cold. It is receiving the high voltage signal, aware of the story the anger is telling, aware of the energy underneath the story. And from that position, not above the anger, not separate from the anger, but receiving the anger in its fullness, something can be done that the mobilized body cannot do alone. The voltage can be redirected. Not suppressed, not bypassed, used. The Spanda that is running through you is the same energy that the texts say creates worlds. The question is not whether to have it. The question is what you point it at. The anger passes. The heat dissipates. The jaw unclenches. And what remains is the awareness that knew the anger was passing, not diminished by the heat, not ashamed of the mobilization, not spent by the discharge. Still here, still receiving. The same pulse that drives the rage is the pulse of the cosmos. You are not wrong to feel it. You are just now learning where it comes from.